I am Josh, the Dungeon Master and World Builder for our mostly 5th edition D&D campaign. With us tonight is a full house for the first time in a while, which is awesome. We have Grace playing Vera, the halfling retired crime boss. Penny reprising her role as Talia, the half-elf wizard cleric. Beth playing the half-elf, oh my god, she is a necroman. Although Talia doesn't know that yet, which is hilarious. And Mary playing Almanya, the dragonborn bard, reincarnated as a raven folk bard sorcerer, did it. And Jenny playing someone new. Some point. We are so delighted that you decided to join us tonight, and without further ado, we're going to jump back into when we last left our heroes. And when we last left our heroes, they had returned to their home city of Onashur, although I guess it's really only the home city at the moment of Almanya, Talia, and Vera. Shoji's home city's well, across the sea and ruled by ghouls and et cetera, et cetera. Bunch of things happened. The party went to Sam Valhain's manor, reunited with their friend Talia, whom Sam Valhain immediately absolved of all current duties, right? Go back with your friends, catch up with them. This is wonderful. Stay safe. You guys, in your conversations with Sam Valhain, told him bits and pieces of your adventure after you left the city, and set up a meeting with him the next day to discuss resuming your client status, as he had told you that upon the presumption of your death, your client status had been legally dissolved in the city, and yada, yada, yada. On your way back from Sam Valhain's, Almanya went looking for a blacksmith, couldn't really find anybody who could work with the magical flail snail shell, to turn it into something really useful. But did manage to find a couple of friends from her bard college, that she knew 6 months ago before leaving the city, and found out that Horace, her dwarven rival from college, had his tongue and eyes taken out, and his fingers cut down to the first knuckle. And the other former member of the college, Tyver, informed you that it was because Horace could do magic while singing and while playing music, much like Almanya can. And during the food riots and hysteria that started to erupt as you guys left the city, they had caught Horace and removed all possibility that he would play music or cast again. Vera gave Tyver some oatmeal that she had in her pocket, which she had taken from Sam Valhain's. And you guys, and Vera also has been kind of spreading around this idea of banding together and just leaving the city, going somewhere else. And Tyver was totally on board with that, but also if you end up not doing that, he's going to kill you.
Fair.
You guys spent some time training to acquire kind of the features of your next level, and I think we ended with the party returning to the Mayweather stronghold in Max, where Vera and Benji had an emotion. We'll call it an emotional conversation. And though by the end of it they had made up somewhat, Vera, as soon as it's feasible, Vera has essentially been exiled. So,
not exactly.
Okay, you can take that up with him. He said you have to leave. I guess the details weren't discussed.
No, I asked him if he wanted me to leave, and he said yes, that would be best.
Cool. So, apparently that conversation will continue at another time. But what Vera also learned from that conversation was that her eldest son, Gideon Jr., was not actually on the move for security purposes, but was in fact quarantined because he is in the later stages of the red harvest, the disease that has risen at the same time that the blood goddess rose and seems to be connected to her somehow.
We played
you guys have encountered it. I'm sorry, what was that, Mary?
I said we play D&D for the escapism of what's going on in the real world.
Well, I invented this before COVID, okay?
That's why I have theories about that.
All comes around.
It would be
That's
truly
around.
horrific if my imagination could affect reality. That would just be a bad situation. You guys have, I think, encountered the Red Harvest twice. The first time, Cormier got it from smashing an altar of Sorana V on kind of your guys' first outing as an adventuring party. And then, Vera, you contracted it. Was it in the fight underneath the Legion camp when in Worcestershire when the like ground collapsed? It was during that. And fortunately, you guys had a cleric with greater restoration available before Vera progressed into the later stages. So that's where we are. It is late in the evening. We're all in the Mayweather encampment. Vera, were you intending to go right off to see Gideon immediately?
Sure, if possible, but if other folks want to do other things, that is fine. That can be delayed.
Are you taking others? Yeah. So what are we doing? What's the plan?
I want to spend the rest of my time continuing to work on getting up to next level.
Okay.
I feel like, when you're in a court and you say I give the remainder of my time to the other team that's
I'm watching an unhealthy amount of Senate and House hearings. So yes, I see the remainder of my time. Or the balance of my time, I think is the terminology.
What's the balance? What's the balance of my time left? Yeah. You have an hour and a half.
Okay. So you're not going to go with any expedition. You're going to kind of spend the rest of this training.
Yeah. I really need to get to the next level.
What about the rest of you?
What exactly is the expedition again?
So I think the only thing left on the docket for today at the moment is Vera wants to go see her son, whose location she's just learned. Yeah, that's the last thing I think on this.
Okay. I will also spend all the spare time I can trying to level up.
All right. Karina and Talia.
Karina is busy pestering oh gosh, I just had his name. The grumpy son.
Oh, the grumpy son. Oh, gotcha. Oth is not a grumpy son.
She's spending all of her time pestering him, wanting to know what she can do because this place sucks and she hates it and it has to be fixed.
Does Karina have a preference between where to go? Problems and factions. There we go. Does she have a preference between raiding for supplies investigating Marianne, or attempting to deal with the kobold problems?
She definitely would like to lean more towards the espionage side of that. So she'd like to figure out who this Marianne person is. She also will not take any unnecessary risks because I don't wish her to die. But also, she had asked Domnia to send a message to Papa to see how he was doing. Was that able
Oh,
to?
Do you remember what you told him to write? I think I put that down underneath.
Yeah, I said, who
yeah.
else would know to contact you, you stupid bastard? It's your daughter. I'm contacting you through a third party, obviously. Amin Anishar trying to, restore things or whatever. Something to that effect. The only words that are super important is you stupid bastard.
I was about to say.
Because that's how
Fair.
he'll know
Okay.
it's her.
Yep. All right. Yes. So that would actually, that would go off this evening. Yeah. Damia reports a laugh. Good on you, kid. How got to Onisher? Siege continuing. Word on the plains is goblins are uniting around a prophet of hate.
Okay. Does Damnia have another?
Not today.
But I could leave one with her that she could do tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck. About the goblins. And I'm with a bunch of crazy people. Will probably die. Love you.
Accurate.
Got it. Okay.
And then Talia will, of course, go anywhere Ma goes.
Okay. So it looks like Talia and Vera then. You guys, it's not like a long journey out. So you're not risking the danger of like traveling to a different part of the city. So you guys are both heading to see Gideon Jr. Okay. Here you follow Benji's kind of directions. The house is outside the defensive perimeter of the stronghold, but you do notice signs that there are hidden defenses here. They're not as strong as those kind of around the stronghold proper, but it's not as if Gideon is in a building that's just left out completely on its own. In fact, give me a perception check if you would.
Alrighty. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. You can see at least 2 halflings on the roof trying to conceal themselves. You are able to spot them. And you can see on a couple of windows here and there where the glass is all broken out and everything. There's dust all over the place, except a little bit like moved from some of the windowsills. There's definitely been some activity there, markings as if somebody resting elbows or forearms kind of on the ledge there. So and you are unchallenged as you enter what looks like an abandoned tenement building. I mean, this is your neighborhood. You know what this was. Yeah, a former tenement building, and it looks like all of the residents have been moved into kind of the slowly contracting perimeter of Mayweather territory. And it is totally abandoned as you go up kind of a couple of levels, and eventually you find a closed door that is not covered in dust. It's not shattered and splintered or anything. And there is a small, almost like like in a door where you would slip mail through, like the mail slot. There is a small, about this big, set in the door, and the door itself is heavily locked.
Right. Can I ask some old story questions? Because I've been trying to find it my notes and I just cannot. Because it was a long time ago in real
Sure.
time. But so Cormier had this thing like way back when.
Yes.
And as I recall, didn't we have to go and find like an herb or something to help him? But then we ended up not.
No, you actually had to. You managed to grab 2 doses. I think Talia's mother had
Yeah.
1. Enough ash bark to kind of stave off the progress of the
That was
disease
it.
for about a week.
And
And
then
so
the other one.
within hours of him catching it, you guys had essentially halted it. And then about a week later, Almania basically spent some family credit to get more from the Dragonborn embassy, which staved it off for another week. How did you guys cure that?
That's what I
Campbell gave us the cure.
Sam Vilhane
yeah, I thought he was
Oh,
involved there.
like
Yes.
a potion of vitality or something.
Yeah, he
Got
had
it.
he had
Okay.
a potion or something he gave Cormier.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I
Okay.
thought. That's what I thought I remembered. Okay. However, that was fairly early stage still.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. That
in-
is practically speaking, the disease in Cormier never made it past like the first 24, 36 hours.
right. Whereas I think I was second stage, something like that. When I
No,
was cured.
you guys actually managed to stop it before the second stage.
Mm-hmm.
The
So-
second stage of the disease and a simple greater restoration will not actually work.
Right. So have I heard either when that was happening or just, I don't know, roll of history of any treatments past certain stages?
You guys haven't. You guys have been with the like among the Temple of the Moon Maiden and the legions for long enough that I'll give you a history check, see if you can recall what anybody has said.
Cool. No whammies. 16.
16. Best shot is to catch it early and hit it with a greater restoration. The only people who can do that though are Callista and I forget her name. The one with the bad temper.
That replaced Garrett.
Yeah, the one that replaced Garrett. I'm blanking on her
I
name.
don't know if we ever knew her name.
You guys never like actually spoke to her. You met her on the journey back to Vreem, and then like she came in and slapped a greater restoration on Vera, and like that was about the extent of the interactions that you had with her.
Yeah.
She wasn't chatty.
No.
No, she was not.
And as far as we can tell, Damia's lower level as well.
Damia does not have access to
Right.
greater restoration. She would be able to help slow the first stage of the disease.
Right. Sorry, I just want to go in knowing how screwed I am. Yeah. Okay. So, can I just like take Talia aside outside the door? Talia, my dear, you've been in this city obviously longer than I have. What this disease all about? Is there anything we can do that you've heard of? Anything at all?
No, I believe it's quite incurable as far as I know.
And how fast? How soon? Depending on how far along it is?
I think it primarily depends on the strength of the individual, and what sort of care they get. But it usually moves fairly quickly. I don't have, they don't let the infected into the council district, so I don't have much first-hand experience, shall we say, with it. Just because I don't really leave the council district all that often. And yeah, we don't let them in, so I'm sorry.
See, it's all right. It seems it's very practical. I suggest that you stay out of that room.
Oh, I'll be fine. I will come in with you. I'll be fine.
But I've had this before, and as far
know.
as I can
I remember.
tell, it'll give me some sort of protection. But I don't want to risk you in here.
I think it's not necessarily contagious through the air, as far as I know. I believe so long as your son doesn't bleed on me, I shall be just fine.
Right. Thank you.
I just put my hand on your shoulder and say, Ma, honestly, like, whatever I can do to help you, of course.
Very kind. All right. And I'll knock.
You knock, and you don't hear any response.
Junior, it's your mother.
Roll a perception check.
24.
Oh, damn. Okay.
My jam.
You hear the faintest rasp of a voice from inside.
Yes, it's me. Can you let me in, or can I get in?
So that I'm not coughing for the remainder of the episode. I'm not going to rasp my voice, but that's essentially what you're hearing. The door is locked and I can't reach it.
Well, fortunately for you, darling, locks are what I do. And I will attempt to unlock the door from the outside.
Go ahead and give me a thieves' tools check. I think it would just be dexterity plus your proficiency. And I think your expertise is in.
Yes. So plus double proficiency then? Yeah.
Yes, it's a dex check plus 6.
Cool.
And I'll tap her on the shoulder and she can add a d4.
Bless you.
There you go.
Good. I needed it because I'm going to re-roll that.
Your lockpick is. Oh, you're gonna re-roll it.
I'm
Oh,
re-rolling it.
I was like, cool. You're lockpick.
No. And I of course.
Cool. So is that? Go ahead and roll a d4 just for curiosity's
For
sake.
funsies? Okay. So that's
Yeah.
24 plus 9. No, wait,
Rolled a
plus
31.
7. Yeah.
It doesn't
Only
even
because
click.
I'm a halfling.
Holy crap. Yeah, that lock just.
Get to my son.
Talia, it honestly looks like she just kind of touches it and it just pops open. Barely even takes the thieves' tools out before the lock just pops open. And the door kind of swings open a little bit. and the corridor that you are standing in is immediately filled with just the thick stench of blood and urine and excrement.
Clea, my darling, would you mind waiting here? It's not you or me, but I know he would not want to be seen. So,
Of course.
thank you. And I will sidle in and close the door.
Okay. It's pitch dark in the room, so you will need to use your goggles.
Dancing lights.
Oh, there you go. Or dancing light. The dancing lights, just very small room, and the lights. There we go. And in the light, you can see Gideon laying on just a soiled bed. Lots of blankets and pillows, but he's laying on top of them. And you can see that it's all stained with sweat and blood. He's got thick bandages wrapped around his abdomen. And you can see that at his elbows and ankles and knees, and kind of like at the base of his neck, kind of here, are just these big, dark red, cancerous growths that are, and you're actually familiar with this, that are just kind of seeping blood, and it looks like none of the bandages have been changed in days, if not more. So they are all almost completely soaked through. There are a number of mostly filled chamber pots nearby that have not been emptied. And there's just flies all throughout the room. Just a cloud of them. As the kind of light globes go out, they start to kind of buzz and spin around the light globes. You do notice that the door has not fully closed behind you.
And there are no windows, I assume.
Yeah, this is an interior room.
I will walk up to him and take his hand.
His hand is like, there's leaked liquids like all down his hand. Hey, give me a Constitution save with advantage.
Twelve.
Good thing you had that advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, remind me, Vera, you used your inspiration in the conversation with Benji, correct?
I think I did.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and
Yeah.
pop that off. Okay. Okay, 12. You take his hand and you kind of opens his eyes, and you can just see, a sliver in between his eyelids. Are you real?
Yes, my love. Told you I was coming. And I keep my word. To some.
I was hoping that you wouldn't this time.
I'm stubborn like that.
No, if I had done that, you would have called it stupid like that.
They're often the same thing, and maybe it was stupid, but it's my prerogative.
Good to see you, Mom.
Not as good as it is for me to see you, darling boy.
You're saying you're enjoying this?
I'm saying there's nowhere I would rather be.
It's a joke, Ma. It's a stupid joke.
Stubborn joke.
How's Benji holding up?
He's tougher than even I thought, I have to say. He's very fine.
Wasn't made for this.
Who was?
So what's the plan?
Oh, my dear, the plan. I've always had one, seems. Though really it was your father who did the best of that. And the truth is, I wanted to hear your thoughts before I came up with anything. Do you know how long it's going to be?
You know, it's funny you should mention Dad's plan. You know, I've heard the stories. I've read the accounts. His plans were shit, Mom. How did they always work? It makes no sense.
Do you remember what we were just saying? Stubborn and stupid. Your father was stubborn.
Studied every plan he wrote. I avoided every mistake that he made. And it still all failed. Why did his work?
You know, I have a theory about it. Recently formed. Because I've spoken to him since. Does that sound insane?
You know, it would. Except for everything else that's happening.
He's contacted me. And I can't help but wonder if he had tapped into something beyond us. All these connection with dice, with luck.
That's what my daughter said. It's what she was investigating.
Well, she's a very clever girl.
You should ask Benji for Dad's papers. I think she left notes there. Right. Vera. Oh, never mind.
You know, she's alive. She's all right.
Yeah? Did you find her?
Not exactly, but I spoke to her as I've been speaking to you magically. She's with the Freemans of all people. Well, if they can't do anything else, they can at least keep us safe, I think.
No, Ma, you're gonna kill me for saying this, but I would even take the Bremens over this.
I lean in really close. Don't tell a single soul. I was coming rather to that conclusion myself. I certainly wouldn't like it. But, yes, I'm of your thinking for that. Listen, you used a word that I don't want you to use because it's not true. You said you failed. It's not true.
What does failure look like if it doesn't look like this? And he just kind of weakly gestures to the room.
It's taken me, I don't know, leaving, getting out of myself, getting out of my life as it had been to realize that not everything is one's personal responsibility, that sometimes circumstances are too big. And the only failure is if you didn't do what you could, and you did.
The results that matter, Ma, you taught me that.
And it seems like my homecoming is going to be a very long litany of me repeating that I was so terribly wrong about so many things.
He starts to chuckle a little bit, but then turns into just a heavy, wet cough. It's a little late to tell us that, Ma.
Don't I know it? That's
Um,
my failure.
Vera, you hear a body hit the ground outside the door and down the hallway a little bit. Just what's as if a body just fell from a height and slammed into the ground.
I'm just gonna
And the door shuts behind you.
I'm just gonna call Talia. Talia, did you hear that?
Did I hear that?
You passive perception did not.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Talia, there's something going on. One of the guards just died, or there's something. You better hide.
Vera, as you get that first Talia out, you feel a piercing pain in your shoulder, and as you kind of turn and look, there's a ghoul standing in the room with you that just sank its teeth into your shoulders, and I need you to roll initiative.
Yay. Okay. Here's a question. Yeah, we didn't take a rest. I don't remember.
We haven't today.
Yeah.
But we were fully rested this morning.
Right, but I got smashed.
I need you. You take 10 points of piercing damage.
Oh,
I think you're at 23.
I'm confused. See, I hate this wounded thing because you go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's terrible. So no, you're set right there. And all right, initiative was 16. It's gonna roll.
Josh, do I also
Oh,
need to
you're
roll
going
or
first.
no?
Initiative as well.
Sorry, you cut out. Was that yes?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, then. Oh, that was intelligence. Hold on. I was looking at it like it was on my 13th age sheet. Well, it still sucks. 5.
It's no. Okay. Vera, you are up first.
Cool.
Dancing lights isn't concentration, right? It just
It's just a
there.
thing. Yeah, I think.
Cool.
So
Okay, you're up.
first thing, if this doesn't consume anything, can I look around? Are there any other ghouls? Is it just this one in the room with me?
If you want to take some time to do a perception check, you may. At a glance, you see nobody else. It's a quite small room.
Right. Okay. Then I am going to I will stab it with Priscilla and then offhand with Old Faithful.
Okay. First
And I
attack.
will do everything to keep myself between it and Junior.
Okay.
Alrighty. So sorry. Folks at home, slightly freaking out. Remind me. So I roll this and I just +7. Yeah. All right. So did that go through?
No?
It seems to have frozen. Okay. Oops. I'm
Oh,
so
wait, there it
sorry.
is.
Oh
Just rolled a
shit!
20.
Oh no!
And I forgot
That
that's
is
the
actually
plus. It's the +2 daggers, so that's +9. Plus the crit.
It hit.
Yes.
It's
But
a
I just
natural
remember
20.
things are okay. So remind me, a dagger is just how much? I don't have it in my inventory. That's why it's taking me a while. Sorry, folks. So how much damage is that? It does a 1d4, doesn't it?
A dagger does, yes.
Yes. So
Your
it's a
thought
1.
does more.
Yeah. So it's a 1 on this hit. It'll be a 1d4 +2 plus my 4 dex, I assume. Correct?
Yeah, plus your
Yes,
automatic
so-
4 from the crit.
Right. So it'll be it's a dagger, so it's a 1d4 plus the 2 magical damage plus the 4 dexterity.
Okay.
So 1d4 plus 6.
Right. All right. There's the 1d4.
Plus 4, but because of the crit, right?
Yes. So it's 4.
Yeah, so total of 14, I think.
Sorry, I can't math. Thank you.
So 4
been a lot.
plus 4 dex plus 2 magical is 10 plus 4 because it's a crit. So max that damage. Okay.
So 14, that's first hit.
That is a solid hit.
Good. And then I will undercut him with the sawtooth dagger.
Okay.
Not as good. That's only a 9. That won't hit him.
9 does not hit. Okay. One thing that he definitely would have tried to do is as you immediately spun to stab with Priscilla, he brought up his hand, and you saw as an arcane shield came up between you and the dagger, but you managed to go just fast enough that you plunged through the magic before it had completed and stabbed right into him. But he did try to cast shield.
Cool. And as a free action, I will yell for Talia to run.
Okay, Talia, outside you hear Vera yelling for you to run. And it's the ghoul's turn. Vera, with your passive insight of like 15 plus, even on this strange creature, you see surprise on its face as you turn and just pierce it twice. But it kind of shoves you to the side. If you would give me an opposed athletics check.
That'll go great.
I mean, he's not in a great boat on this either.
Hehe. 7.
Okay. He shoves you down and against the wall to the side. And points his hand right at Gideon. And you see 3 points of fire appear at his fingertip and then shoot straight at Gideon.
I can't do anything about this. I still have a reaction?
You do have a reaction.
Don't
I
know
don't
how
think
I
you
can
have
use it.
Yeah, I don't think you have anything that would trigger for this. Gideon takes 3 blasts of fire. All of them just slam into Gideon on the bed. But that's reduced. So he's got total. He just took 26.
So the
Okay.
impression that I get though is it's here for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so 3 blasts of fire just pockmark his torso. His clothes catch fire, and he just kind of writhes in agony. And it's Talia's turn. You hear Vera yell.
Okay, so I hear Vera yell for me to leave, but the door is closed, yes?
The door is closed. It's not locked.
Okay. Well, now is not a good time to start listening to Vera. So, I will open the door and not necessarily step in. Open the door, and what do I see? Do I see everything? Like, I can see everything that's going on? If he has lights up?
There are dancing lights, so the whole room is still filled with bright light. And then there's just a cloud of flies in the room, and then you see Vera has just caught herself on the wall and is pushing herself back up, and you can kind of see the remnants of flame trailing from the ghoul's fingers and Gideon on fire.
And
He's not like engulfed in flames, but like where the fire hit, the clothes are smoldering, and there's small flames.
And it's pretty much the first time you've ever seen Vera like panicked.
Okay.
Like emotion during a fight.
So 2 things. I will step into the room and grab Vera's arm.
Okay.
And say, I really think that maybe we should go.
I'm not leaving my son.
Ma, I hate
Shoot it,
to be-
please.
Well, I'm not exactly sure that I can shoot it with anything. I will.
That's about the conversation.
Okay. I will. Vera's not leaving. I will release her arm and will clasp my arm and cast Spirit Guardians.
Yay.
Spirit Guardian.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Those are good.
I assume are you choosing Vera and I assume you're choosing Vera and Gideon to be accepted from the violence.
Sure.
Cool. Does he? I don't think he takes damage when he starts his turn.
Right.
Right.
When he steps
Okay.
into my space or he starts his turn there.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see, I marked off that slot. Was that right? I hate fantasy grounds so much. Yes. Okay.
Alrighty. So you've run in, you've grabbed Vera, you've got Spirit Guardians up. Are you doing anything
Yeah.
else?
No, I let go of Vera and I'm just going to stand there.
Okay. Okay. Here you go. You're up. You're up.
Can I make a passion roll on this stuff? Because like, it's like the definition of passion rolls right now.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a passion roll. So just a percentile die.
Right. Alrighty. So that's. Ooh, I remember how to do this. Sort of. Percentile. There it goes. Don't know if it's bad or good.
That was bad.
That is a failed passion roll.
Okay. I am going to, let's see. So looking at this ghoul, this is one of the big magic ghouls, not the dumb shambling ghouls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, you recognize actually some of the accoutrement that this one is carrying. This is the same type of ghoul that you were fighting when one of them killed Elmania.
Right.
You have hatred of ghouls, by the way?
No?
And didn't you have fear of ghouls?
Did I?
I thought you did. Because Leah had hatred, but I think you had fear. Or maybe no, it was
I had-
Almania that had fear. That's right.
Yeah, I had fear of the wilderness.
Fear of the wilderness.
What?
Okay. All right. What are you doing with your turn?
Yeah, I know. I am going to the Lakai maneuvers in action, right?
Yes.
Yes. And it is what are the mechanics of it again?
I think you can't. I think nothing can target Gideon. Nothing that requires like line of sight can actually target Gideon. Area of effect, like a fireball or something. I think he would get. I think he would automatically succeed on this save. But then, like attacks against you have advantage.
Right. That's what I thought.
Something like that.
I am going to let me see. And I think this is how monks work. Tell me if I'm lying. But I will take my action to take the guard action over Junior. The
Okay,
Lakai
so the
maneuver.
Lakai maneuver. Okay.
Yes. But then is it a
Lakai maneuver
boat?
is named after the character from the last campaign. She was a werewolf who spent many of her turns like huddled over the gnomes in the party, protecting them. So I actually created an action. The Lakai maneuver.
It was
harder to
me.
do. Yes. It's a lot harder to do when you're a 200-year-old tiny halfling woman. But I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
So I will do that, but then I will bonus action spend a key point to nullify his advantage. With patient defense.
To take the check.
Patient defense.
Oh, to interesting. So essentially, what you're doing, you're less like just
I am
covering
patient
Gideon and more
defending
just
over
like
him.
wrapping him. Interesting. Damn. Okay. You feel the raw force of will flood your limbs as you attempt to protect your son. Right. Ghoul's turn. Okay, can't target him. I'm sorry. He has to make is it a wisdom save against what's it called? Spirit Guardians?
It is a wisdom save, yes.
Okay. 17 plus.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
My wisdom's not that high, so it's pretty
All right.
pretty low DC.
So go ahead and roll the, what is it, 4d6, and he'll take
Ooh.
half.
3d8.
3d8?
Yep.
I should know this. I play a cleric in JM's 5th edition campaign.
Ooh.
19?
Yep.
All right, halved to 9.
Still
That's
awesome.
necrotic.
Okay. Oh, it's necrotic?
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so halved again to 4. Here, spinning around Talia. Oh, I'm sorry. Ghoul's gonna finish his turn, and then I'm gonna do that. How about that'll work. Talia, not Talia. Vera, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Not great.
Not great. 9. You. Oh, that's a terrible chart right there. Okay. Oh, it's a D10. Okay. If you're 1. There we go. Okay. You are confused, and you cannot move or take actions this turn. Damn it. We needed you to move.
Good. I'm not moving.
Isn't it great when the confusion effect works against your plans as a DM?
Yeah, he was really hoping she would move. Cool. In that case, he kind of vanishes in a cloud of smoke and reappears in the doorway just outside the range of Talia's spirit guardians. Vera, in your confusion, shielding your son, you see spinning around the room in a radius around Talia, small imps bathed in reddish lights with the spiral of Illyriel kind of dancing over their head as they spin around the room, and they do not tear into you, but they do tear into Gideon. What's your spell save DC, Talia?
12. It sucks.
So her spirit guardians are attacking Junior.
Yes. Okay. Fails. Go ahead and roll 3d8.
Bill.
12 points. Whoops, that's where is he? Okay. And Talia, it is your turn.
And the ghoul is in the door, so effectively blocking off our escape route.
Correct.
Are there any windows in this room?
No, this room is situated kind of at the center of the building.
Okay. Well, that sucks. Don't have Firebolt or Ace Bolt anymore. I don't have my cantrips I used to have.
What's going on with your messed up little guardians?
Let's see. I guess I will. This probably won't work, but I will try Ray of Sickness at the ghoul. So he needs to make a con save against a DC of this one's higher. Hold on. Cleric.
Natural 7
That should fail.
definitely fails. It's
Yeah.
sub 10. All right.
Okay.
What does that do?
That does 2d8 poison damage, and it is poisoned until the end of my next turn.
Oh. And poisoned is disadvantage on attack rolls?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so that's 11 points of poison damage to him.
Points of poison damage. Okay. That ghoul does not look well. Is that also necrotic?
No, it's poison.
Oh, poison. Got it. Okay. In that case, it actually takes 0 damage.
Mm.
It is immune to poison.
Well, that's.
I wonder, though, if it's immune to poison.
Then it's probably also immune to poisoned.
Yeah. Okay, so no effect. Is that your turn?
Yep. I will say to Vera that we should leave as soon as he moves out of the door.
At the top of round 3, a new figure appears in the doorway right next to the ghoul. Jenny, if you would like to describe your character.
Bless you, Jenny. You from on high.
So you see coming into the doorway a short and scrawny, well, for a dragonborn, female with blue scales. She holds her quarterstaff. And can I just jump into an action? Or
Yeah,
do you
it is
need
your turn. I rolled to see which round you would come in on, and so you come in at the top of the 3rd round. So yeah, it is your turn.
Okay, how close am I to the ghoul?
You're standing right next to him.
All right, I take my quarterstaff and I just hit him whack, whack, twice.
Okay, roll your 2 attacks.
And it's a weapon that gives me a +3, not the -1, because of what I can add. And
You're using your dexterity modifier.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a 12 for the first one.
12 swings towards him and then splashes off of some kind of energy protecting him, kind of layered into his kind of tattered cloak, and does not damage him. A 17 + 6. He then is going to try to shield again, but that only brings him. It does not bring him to a 23, which is what you rolled on the second one. So you can roll damage for one of those quarterstaff strikes.
Nice. That's 10.
Ooh. 10 points of damage. Where's his stuff? There he is. Okay. First one skitters off the magic that he's got protecting himself, but the second one smashes through, and you can hear bones break as you connect with him. So that is your action.
Okay, and then my bonus action, I just want to turn and punch him as hard as I can in the face.
Is this
This is
Flurry,
my
are you
bonus.
using a key point?
No,
This is what?
this is just my bonus.
Can you attack? If you roll a
Strike after a melee or unarmed attack?
you just get a bonus action attack?
I think so. It's been a long time going over this today.
So do I. Yeah.
I thought you had to use.
No, you use a key
No.
point for flurry of blows.
Mm-hmm. So I would
No,
get
you
2
don't have
bonus
to-
actions if I use a key point, but I just want 1.
That's
Or I could spend a key point and do 2, if that would be what you want me to do.
because monks
What
at this
feature-
level get 2 attacks, and then they get a bonus action unarmed strike.
Yeah.
That's just monks.
Really?
Why monks are broken.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll give it to you.
Jenny, I
Okay.
don't know who you are, but you have Vera's like undying loyalty just because of this.
There it is. Okay, yeah, no, I see it. 1 unarmed strike is a bonus action. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Yes, go ahead and roll your unarmed strike.
That is a 15.
15 just hits, and he already used his reaction. Oh, but shield lasts. Sorry, shield lasts until the start of your next turn. So actually, that will not hit.
Mhm.
So the secondary shield that he cast, your staff is unable to break through it.
Okay. I have a question
Okay.
about my agile parry. Because I tried an unarmed attack, can I hold up my quarterstaff and use it as a defense for the remainder of this round? Because it says after
what
an unarmed
are you-
strike, not necessarily an action.
What feature are you?
The agile
Talking about
parry.
here?
The agile parry, which allows me to use
Agile?
to get a +2 armor class for a round.
Does it cost an action or a bonus action or anything?
No, it just says if an unarmed strike is made, use melee weapon to defend. So I can hold up my staff kind of as a shield.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. So that gives you a +2 AC.
This is why monks are the best.
Alrighty. Okay, so a blue dragonborn wielding a quarterstaff just lays into the ghoul. Only 1 strike really connects. Its magic manages to defend it against the rest. Vera, you immediately recognize the combat forms that the dragonborn is using.
I like her. For
okay,
multiple
and-
reasons now, I like her.
And Vera, it is your turn.
Oh Lord. Well, with this new person here, taking a Lakai maneuver again, and I allowed to roll another passion roll, or is that not an option anymore?
You may in a moment. I will point out the Lakaya maneuver has not protected Gideon at all from the Spirit Guardian.
Yeah, which is weirding me out. Is there any way that I can grab him and move him out of range, or are they filling up the entire room?
It's a 15-foot radius.
Yeah, it's a 15-foot radius, so definitely everywhere within the room. If you use the dash action, you could get him out of the room.
And we're both small, which means we can both move through the space of bigger creatures, correct?
You both could if you were moving individually. Because you have to carry him, I'm gonna give me an acrobatics check. If you're gonna commit to this attempt, you can make an acrobatics check.
Okay, because I will also like take a dose of red to get more speed, etc.
Okay.
I will currently do anything I can possibly do to get us both out of this room.
All right, give me an
Okay,
acrobatics.
so acrobatics, which I believe I get another 1 added to this because of my belt. So a dirty 20.
A dirty 20, yeah. With a dirty 20, you manage to, as this dragonborn is slamming into the ghoul, you manage to kind of slip around the doorway, dragging Gideon.
Yes. Alrighty, how
and-
far
and
do I
you're-
get down the corridor?
Okay, so bonus action for red, action
Yeah.
to double movement gets you 35, 40, 90 feet. Holy shit. And the
Tiny
ghoul,
monks, y'all.
and the ghoul does not have a reaction because he tried to shield. So yeah, you can essentially be like out the door. Oh, I'm sorry, but halved to 45 because
Right, it's 45.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you can get essentially like around out the room and around the next corner into like the next hallway.
Okay, I'm going to stop and sort of shelter behind the corner and prop him up against the wall. How does he look? I imagine terrible, but more detail than that.
He looks bad, but he is conscious.
Okay.
Vera, you just for your knowledge, you are currently like covered in his blood and just mess.
Right.
Just the whole front of you covered. And essentially anybody you come into contact with before dealing with that is going to have to save against the Red Harvest.
Right.
Just a warning.
Yeah, and I was careful, I hope, as I was getting out past all these people, not to get blood on them. If that's possible. I
Okay.
smeared it all over the ghoul.
The ghoul likes it.
Ah,
All right, that's Vera's turn. It's the ghoul's turn. And with a new person in the scene. Oh crap. Vera, you are confused and you cannot move or take actions.
fine.
Sorry.
Oh man, I'm so angry. That means I'm frozen in the position which I am, which is in Lakai maneuver. So may I please save against that at the end?
At the end of each of its turns, an affected creature makes a wisdom save. So go ahead and make another wisdom save.
Each of its turns or my turn?
At each of the affected creature, at the end of the affected
Okay.
creature. So yeah, at the end of yours. Go ahead and roll another wisdom save.
Ugh. 13.
13. You are still confused.
Gosh, dang it. Fine, but I'm maintaining my protective posture here.
Ghoul's turn. You are still across him. Oh, that's annoying.
Yay,
Cool.
Lakai maneuver.
In that case, he is going to run into the room.
And take an attack of opportunity.
Yep. So, Jenny, if you would give me a quick attack of opportunity here.
19.
19. It's the start of his turn, so shield is no longer affecting him. So that will hit. He will use his reaction to cast shield again, and that will skitter off of it again. So that will not hit. So he runs into the room. Vera, you are confused. So he just kind of pulls you off of Gideon and is going to make a bite attack and a dagger attack. So bite attack with advantage because he is prone. Definitely hits. Dagger attack. Okay, no crits. But they both definitely hit. So Gideon will take another 11 points of damage. Hideous damage rolls on the planet.
He's still conscious.
He is still conscious. Cool. And then he is going to bonus action vanish. No, shield is a leveled spell.
Mm-hmm.
Can't reaction shield and cast a leveled spell. Crap baskets. Cool. He stays there. So the ghoul is currently standing over Gideon, just slamming down with claws and teeth and daggers. Gideon, it's his turn. He's not incapacitated, but not in this fight. Talia, you're up. I'm sorry, but at the beginning of his turn, wisdom save. Success on the wisdom save. So Talia, give me 3d8.
Okay. 12, so half to 6.
Okay. All right. Now, Talia, it is your turn.
Is the ghoul also in my space?
Yeah, she should have gotten a reaction.
That's true. He ran right into it again. Oops.
She should have gotten an attack of opportunity too.
Definitely
And that-
failed.
I don't have
so
form.
give me another 3d8.
I don't have Warcaster, so I don't get an attack of opportunity.
Never mind.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay. The little imps just start tearing into the ghoul again. He makes it to Gideon and attacks, but is looking really, really bad. So, sorry, Talia. Now it is your turn. Reaction. And
Okay.
Does Talia
Da-da-da-da.
see that her guardians are injuring Junior?
on your, as soon as you are not confused, you can make a check to determine that.
If Talia
Um,
noticed.
Sorry, I don't have any of Talia's normal spells, so I'm just trying to figure all this out. Cool. We'll do that. So I'm going to again grasp my arm, and the shadows are going to just kind of coalesce around the ghoul and attempt to pull him back and restrain him. So Josh, I'm casting the clinging shadows thing. So he has to
Okay.
make a strength check against my DC. No, a strength saving throw, or he's restrained. And then
Fails
on his-
hard.
okay, so he is currently restrained.
Okay.
And that's all it does. It doesn't do damage or anything, but it does just keep him there.
Well,
So
it's a
he
20-foot
says strength.
cube. It's a 20-foot cube, and it affects each creature.
Oh, each creature. Shoot. Never mind. Not that. Sleep, because that's an old tried and true.
Also affects each creature.
Yeah, but only up to a certain, like in descending
You
order of
choose.
hit points.
You do get to choose them. Okay, and you're choosing the ghoul.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll
And
your
that's
5d8.
5d8. 27.
Cool. Do you want to include anyone else in it?
I mean, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Unless, is there anybody else bad? I think this monk person seems to be on Vera's side, right?
Well, she's definitely not on the ghoul's side.
Okay. Oh, well, I already said it. I assume a
yeah.
ghoul counts as undead.
Yeah. So you cast sleep to no effect.
Well, shoot. Okay.
Top of the round, Vera.
Can I please
top-
roll?
Sorry, top of the round, Galena.
Still
you're
muted,
still-
Jenny. Sorry.
The ghoul stepped outside the room. So
No,
I'm still well within the distance, right?
The ghoul ran into the room and is now standing over the bed,
Oh, that's right.
Like,
That one thing
fighting-
isn't done.
fighting and stabbing at the small halfling, helpless upon it.
Okay. Quick question. If there's an effect that creates a 5 by 30 line, if the ghoul's standing right over somebody, is there a chance I might hit this person who I don't want to hit?
If you aim up,
There is definitely a chance, and I'm gonna need a roll from you to see if you can avoid hitting people you don't want to.
the ghoul's
Okay.
a lot taller. She could aim up.
And he's also over.
But Talia's also right there.
Well, and that's an interesting point, because if she comes into the room, she wasn't there when I cast the spell. So if she comes into the room, she has to make a wisdom save against my spirit guardians.
Yep.
So just FYI.
Galena, are you going for it?
No, I am not. I'm just going to take my quarterstaff and just jump at him and hit him again. Bam, bam.
Okay, give us a quick wisdom save, and Talia, go ahead and roll 3d8.
I'm sorry, Jenny. I love you.
That's okay. That was a 2 plus a 4
Galena, you take a full 20 points of damage as you jump into the room and are immediately swarmed by small glowing red imps with a red spiral kind of in the air above their head, and they just start hacking and clawing and biting at you.
I don't like these. These are not very Talia-like.
Yeah. Okay. I still do my best just to shake it off and ignore them.
Okay.
And I attack the ghoul. Well,
Of course you
I
do.
avoid spearing.
Go ahead and roll the attack. Sorry, I'm laughing at Beth's comment in the
I know you do.
You do, Beth.
I know you do.
and right when she said that, like Brennan Lee Mulligan doing the blood imp from Fantasy High came into my head. I like it. Amazing. Okay, first attack misses.
Yeah.
But the 25, it tries to throw up a shield. You break right through it.
Okay. So I hit, which means I'm going to use a key point and use that, make a death strike, and I'm going to add a 1d6 to my damage.
Oh dear. Cool. Go ahead and roll d8 plus a d6 plus 3, I think.
Yeah, so the d8 is 7 plus my dex is 10 plus a d6. 16.
Cool. What's it look like?
Oh, thank God.
It was on its last legs.
Okay, the first hit glanced off, didn't it? So I guess I just bring it down, smash on top of its head as hard as I can.
Skull caves in, whole body kind of twitches for a moment, and then just kind of slumps down over Gideon, and then slowly slides off onto the ground. Kira, if you would give me a quick wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn.
Hopefully it doesn't suck. It didn't suck.
Cool.
Where was that roll when I needed it?
You come back to full perception of reality to see the ghoul dead on the floor. It's just black fluids coating the quarterstaff that this dragonborn is holding kind of right above it. And what are you doing with your turn?
I jump up onto the bed and start trying to, well, he's already covered in bandages, but whatever, and start trying to treat Junior. Sorry, I'm going to forever call him Junior because that's what I call him.
The imps are returning now from the dragonborn and heading back towards Gideon.
I'm just going to yell, Talia, call them off.
Can I dismiss the spell when it's not my turn?
It's concentration, which I think you can just drop whenever.
Yeah, so I'll drop it.
Okay. Gideon currently is now sporting another dagger wound. And like from here down is just like shredded down to like his clavicle by the ghoul's teeth.
May I roll medicine to try and patch him up? I don't know if that's how medicine works, but it's how I'm going to use it.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a medicine check.
I'm going to tell you, medicine checks are one of the most like useless skill checks most of the time. Yeah, especially when you roll a 6. Can I roll my family passion for this? Good Lord.
Yeah, you can absolutely roll a passion.
Thanks. Now let's just hope this doesn't suck. 26?
That did not suck.
I have no idea how passion works. I'll take your word for it, Jenny. Thank you for saying
That's like a good number. I'm assuming it did suck.
You actually also have advantage. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the passion roll. Yes, that is the success. So you can roll with advantage if Talia runs over to assist. So if you allow her to assist, you can have advantage.
Yeah, I
Um,
definitely run over to assist.
Sure, thank you. I'll kind of give you a slight side eye because of the weird, but we'll talk later. All right, so I'm going to roll again because my first roll was a 4. And my second roll is a dirty 20, so that's much better.
Dirty 20. Okay. You take a bunch of bandages and kind of redistribute them a little bit. You kind of staunch the bleeding from the new wounds. It is an unholy mess in here. You're covered in just the slick of his blood. All of kind of the joint tumors have split and are bleeding.
Talia, perhaps you shouldn't touch him.
Oh, all right. Well,
I don't want your illness on
of course.
my head. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I can at least help some. If I give him a quick, let's see, do I have that still? Yeah, I hate fantasy grounds because I can't prepare my spells. Frustrating. Josh, could we say that I would have had healing word prepared because it's not on my list at the moment?
Yeah, I thought you had either healing word or cure wounds. So yeah, either one.
Okay, yeah. So let's say healing word.
That's not contact. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's speech. Hold on, let me find that.
Healing word. There we go.
There we go. So it's D4 plus wisdom. Ew, that's only 3 points of healing, but it's something.
Something. Thank you.
Yeah.
He gets 3 points of healing.
And can I just turn, like, I'm bandaging and say over my shoulder to this rando in the room. You've just saved my son. I cannot thank you enough. You're a monk of the mountain.
Well, yes, I am. You're very welcome. How do you know of us?
I am a novice myself, or was.
She squints and leans really close. I think I might remember you.
Yes,
But that's neither here nor there right now. Can we help your son?
Well, don't touch him. It's the harvest, the disease. But we do have to get him out of here. But I don't know where to go. Oh. We need to find somewhere more secure. Clearly, you saw that. There was after him specifically. It didn't attack any of the rest of us.
Mm-mm.
I am going to essentially like start to heft him up and just whisper in his ear, do you have another safe house? Is there anywhere we can go?
Does Galena know of a place we can go?
You've just been with kind of the people sheltering in the city. You tell me, have you been with the Mayweathers or kind of on your own?
I assume I've been on my own.
Okay. Yeah. Where's your place? So actually, have I shared the map with you? There we go. So you should be able to see a map now on Fantasy Grounds. And I will let you take a look at that.
Okay.
And then I will share another map here with you. In the meantime, as she's figuring that out, Shoji and Elmania, you guys are in camp, you're training, you're playing music. What else are you kind of doing in camp? Everybody is there except for Talia and Vera. Everybody else is around. Damia and the other and the paladin from the Moon Maiden are doing their own thing. Who else did you guys bring with you? Off is staying out of sight because he's open. Karina is there, but she's badgering Benji. Yep, I think that's the paladin.
You know, chill with Oth because I love Oth. I'm gonna play him some music because he and I are bros.
Okay.
You know, like
you can actually see like the wavelengths of the sound like ripple very gently through his jelly body.
that is the coolest thing. Amadia is like, oh, this is amazing.
Oh, you enjoy it. It beards some people out.
No, this is the best.
Some sort of primal trigger in mammals that apparently does not affect your avian nature.
It doesn't bother me. I think it's fun.
You're playing music for Oth. Shoji, what are you up to? The children tend to be kind of scared of you.
I mean, I think we would have to be doing something towards leveling up, right? Like it would have to be related to our character class.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to visit the sick and or like medical facilities and like help out, you know, but more like for my own, you know, interests in like I just want to study like different anatomy. Like I don't know if I've had much dealings with halflings before, but you know, just be studying, taking notes and stuff like that, and maybe helping if the opportunity arises, or not.
All right. Yeah. No. Not twisting and you know into undeath the threats of life that you can see around you, but understanding their nature better, learning how to manipulate and interact with them better. Yeah. Benevolent necromancy.
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay, so you guys are taking Gideon to Galena's place.
Along the way, can I say, I'm so sorry, I didn't ask your name.
Oh, that's quite all right. We had other things on our mind. I'm Galena.
Lena, Vera Mayweather.
A pleasure to meet you, Vera.
Tilia Rosundal, my friend, and this is my son, Gideon Jr. Gideon.
A pleasure, Tilia. I just kind of give Gideon a sympathetic look.
Sorry about the things that attacked you. I don't always have as much control over that as I wish.
I forgive you. Undoubtedly, it was my own lack of willpower that allowed them to take advantage of my weakness, so I can't really blame you. Devilish things those are.
They were coming for Gideon too. I know that wasn't your intention.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. Like I said, sometimes I have the magic, but you know, Vera, my magic-y expertise was not always in divine magic.
Yes, I
Sometimes-
know.
Sometimes the lady's instructions are not always clear. And sometimes I'm not able to control it. So I do apologize for that.
It's
lady?
it's all right. Yeah. Who is your lady nowadays, Talia?
The same lady that always has been. Ma, what are you talking about?
Perhaps this isn't the time or the place. We should get off the street, but it didn't look right. My dear girl. We need to talk, but this is not the time and the place for it.
Right. Well, and not in front of the guests, right?
Well, she saved my son, as did you. You helped, and thank you. Bless you. We both did.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I would prefer, I think, to get off the street. You're okay to come to my place. There's an abandoned inn in the Slacks, where we could take him and maybe try to get more medical help.
Perfect. Thank you. Though medical help will be difficult. This is very contagious, but we will see what we can do. Thank you.
So you guys are heading out into the city. Okay. Who would like to give me a D12 roll?
I eschew responsibility for
Should I roll it?
this. You roll it. I don't want to be responsible
All
for this.
right. Oh,
Oh,
JD
JD
rolled.
rolled it. Thank you, JD.
Bless you, JD.
just accepted potential responsibility for killing Vera, Talia, and Jenny's new character.
Throw down the gauntlet.
JD, I admire your courage and spirit.
Wow.
Thank you. A 5, not draw counter.
You're the
Thank
best,
you,
JD.
JD.
You're the best.
Good job, JT. So Vera, you actually start to recognize fairly quickly where Galena is leading you. It's to an old, just crappy, tap house, called the Shaggy Buttress. And it's the Slacks. Ordinarily, ordinarily it's essentially the Mos Eisley Cantina. But as you guys approach, windows boarded up, and you can see shattered glass underneath. No lights from inside. The kind of siding has been scratched and destroyed as if something was sharpening nails on it. And Galena leads you inside, and the tap room floor has been cleared and everything neatly stacked, just kind of off in the corners and along the way. Vera, if you would give me just a quick insight check. Cool, you're exhausted.
Under a lot of stress.
From what you can see, this place has been completely ransacked. No living things in sight except for maybe some rats. And it looks like Galena has established her own little kind of bolt hole, kind of back in like the office almost. So you guys make it there, door shut behind you, and you are now in this abandoned inn.
Well, first of all, can I just establish a point of clarification about Galena? Do you have a tail, my dear friend?
Excuse me, that's a very personal question.
No, I mean it would be there. You could see it.
I think she's
Like
asking
it's
you.
not.
I'm asking Jenny, not Galena.
I am Galena for all intents and purposes. Josh,
Billy goes hard into the role playing. No distinction. You do have a tail.
I do have a tail.
Okay.
Okay.
Of course, I have. Can't you tell I have a tail? I quite enjoy.
It's a beautiful tale you
My
have.
one beauty.
Also, I want to say for the sake of the name of the inn that it's hyphenated on the sign outside, right? So it's like but hyphen res.
Of course it is.
Yes,
Black.
except that several of the letters have been like taken down or like blacked out with mud, so now it just says shag butts.
Nice.
Exactly. It's what they intended all along.
It's the slacks.
Yeah.
Home sweet home.
So for the sake of time and including Beth
Yes,
and
we're
Mary,
sorry, guys.
Yeah.
can we, if you wouldn't mind, can we just briefly kind of narrate what the plan is here, just so that we can kind of bring everybody back together?
I'm gonna clean Junior up, and either I will stay with him or I'll ask someone to. I think it should be me since I'm the one who's slightly immune, though not immune. I'll stay with him and ask the other two. Tilly, have you been in the hideout? You've been to the they know who you are. The Mayweathers know who you are. And have you guys go back and tell Benji what happened and meet up with the others. But I can't bring him there and I can't leave him. So yeah.
Okay. So Vera is staying with Gideon. Talia and Galena?
Yeah.
I'm
and
going
I
to
can-
suggest that Galena also stays, and I just run back real quick because we're in the slacks already.
It's close.
So it's close. So I'm going to suggest that Galena also stays, and
And-
I can just run back on my own.
You can like just bring the crew here or
Yeah.
All right. Talia, you book it back down the streets that you guys just followed, following the same path that you took to get here, hoping not to kind of run into anything new. And Shoji and Almanya, as you guys are essentially about to turn in, Talia comes running into camp and kind of the place where you guys are all staying.
Hi, friends. So Vera went to see her son, right? And there was a ghoul that attacked us and tried to kill us. So he's really contagious with the Red Harvest, and we can't bring him here. She asked me to come tell Benji what was going on, but can you guys head and I'll give them directions back to the tavern where they are, because I don't want to leave them there alone very long, and I'll just go and talk to Benji real quick.
Yeah. I'll kind of dart off to go and pull along show.
Should we take any of
Show and
the,
Almanya. I'm sorry, go ahead.
sorry, should we take any of the followers we came with?
Karina would go if Benji doesn't already have work for her. So that's up to you, Josh.
No, your job is kind of in the next couple of days.
So I have time right now? Yeah. Okay. So Karina will go too.
Yeah, they're not pulling night operations anymore.
Okay.
The Dark City is just too dangerous.
you can grab Damia too. She's a healer.
Yes.
Did
Yeah.
I know about her? Did you guys tell Talia about Domnia? I don't remember.
I'm sure Sho and Almanya might go grab her and
Okay.
he can introduce you.
Yeah. So who among the followers do you guys want to bring with you? Kudos to you, Sho, because that's what I was about to ask. I was like, are you two going alone? Because I am rolling encounters each time somebody goes back and forth.
But we're in the same district, right? We're not leaving districts.
No, but you are going at least like 20, 30 minutes, and at night the danger is much higher. So Damia, you've also got Ati and Ritza is the paladin from the temple, and Constantine and Karina.
Yeah, anyone who's willing to come along, I think.
Okay. Damia, Constantine, Karina, and Ati. There we go. Okay. You guys set out. I will pull another.
Does Talia get to Benji before leaving? Tell him what happened.
Yeah, no, that's what I was planning.
Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry,
sending
Talia,
these
yes.
guys
Oh, so
ahead.
you're
I'm
staying.
going
Okay,
to
sorry.
Benji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So Elmanya, Shoji, you guys, and the 4 followers that you have right now. And just quick fun fact: all 4 of those people are now, like, if your character dies, like, these are now playable characters, and as you bring them along with you, they will level up kind of with you guys. So anything that you guys want to like take or bring these guys on, they're there for them.
But is
So
any of them a kobold so that I can unlock playing a kobold, which continues to be my D&D dream?
as far as you can tell,
No.
That's deeply suspicious.
you know how to unlock kobolds. Okay, you know.
And Minotaurs.
Cool, Vera, go.
You 6 make it to the Shagbutt unharassed. You see no signs of danger. You do hear kind of the roar of monsters kind of off in the distance. You definitely hear some scuttling and moving about. And Almanya, you definitely catch the faint sound of Draconic being spoken in kind of a low reptilian voice, and then that kind of vanishes as you guys hurry quietly through the streets. You make it to the inn, at which point Galena and Vera, you guys see them all kind of come crashing in. Talia, what were you going to Benji for?
To tell him what happened, because that's one of the things Vera told me to tell them.
And where we are.
Yeah, and where they are.
Okay. You touched him? That's not Benji. Oh God.
It's so hard. I'm so sorry. The accent.
You moved him?
Well, your mother did. I didn't touch him.
So not to touch him.
Benji, I'm not sure if you know your mother as well as I do, but I don't think she listens to instructions very well.
That's a fair point. Now, if you wouldn't mind, get the fuck out.
Are you going to come?
No?
She'll be
I've got to
disappointed.
figure out what to do now.
She'll be disappointed.
Got about 5 seconds to get out of here. Or, no, I'm gonna kill you.
It's my boy.
You'll kill me, an innocent, defenseless girl, standing here telling you what you already know.
Four. 3.
I leave.
Okay. I was gonna say he is walking closer to you. He just made that threat in front of the guards that are in the room. Okay, you leave. Cool. Are you heading back to the inn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You want me to roll a d12?
No.
I just rolled one.
Cool.
How'd it go?
Talia,
Ugh.
I now need you to roll. Good grief. There. If you wouldn't mind rolling a d10 for me.
Okay.
And now a d100.
That would be a bad crit in Jackals, just by the way. But I don't know what it means here.
That would be bad. Okay, cool. We're going to come back to you. In the meantime, the whole rest of the party, actually, yeah, everybody else and your followers have congregated in this abandoned inn.
Can I have?
You guys can see that Vera has like dark, crusted blood that has been cleaned off, but it's still kind of like at the corners and the folds, and whatnot.
While they were gone, can I have like made a separate spot where Junior and I are, like our own corner? Yeah.
Yep.
And when they arrive, I'm saying, don't get any closer.
Yeah, I see Ma, and I'm like, what the fuck happened, Ma? And I know
Oh
she
my
can't,
goodness.
but she doesn't want to get close. So I just go,
I will tell you from here.
what happened? What is
So
I take like an hour off for myself, like a little bit of self-care time, and then this is what happens? Do I just not get to do that anymore?
oh goodness, I sincerely hope not. But I'm sorry to bring this up for you again, Amanya. But do you remember that the type of ghoul, the casters that we encountered here during the unfortunate incident in which you died the first time? It was one of them, and it just suddenly appeared in my son's sick room and attacked him, and it was going exclusively for him, as if that was its mission. But fortunately for us, this kindly young lady arrived in the nick of time and killed it for us. This is Galena. Galena? Is that how you say it?
That's fine. Helena, but it doesn't really matter.
Galena. This is Galena.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Martin, why are you a dragonborn still here in this city?
Well, I'm not originally from the city. I'm passing through.
Okay.
I've been gathering information. Can you tell me what happened to all the dragonborn in the city?
Yeah, they booked it. Oh, yeah, it's yeah, I've kind of got never mind. Yes, apparently as soon as danger kind of reared its ugly head, they gathered up everybody, all of the other dragonborn in town, and they left.
Okay, how long ago was this?
I don't know this.
Well, the first attacks were roughly, am I right about this, a year ago ish? When did this happen? When we left.
No, but
Yeah. I think it was near after we left, which was a little less than a year ago, I think.
Okay.
Ish.
okay.
And to offer some sort of explanation, Armania, Galena is a monk of the mountain, as I am, I suppose.
Oh, okay. So how did you get off the mountain too? From what I
That's what I was going to
remember,
ask.
the monks is they're not super fond of people leaving.
Well, my lack of total understanding of what's happening right now. There was a group that came through to our island about 6 months ago. And they stayed for a little while. And that's where I know you, right?
Yes, that was us.
Okay, but you had someone else with you at the time, another dragonborn.
Yes, that was sort of me.
I'm
That's
sorry.
That was complicated.
That's a long, long story, which I'm sure if you'd like to stay for dinner, we would be happy to tell you.
Well, considering
Yeah.
you're in my house, you would be staying for dinner.
It's true. If you let us stay for dinner, I am sure that we would be able
And
to
I'm
tell you.
very happy to.
Ah,
I'm happy to share what I have with you.
you are going to be regaled with a wild tale, like one that you have never heard before.
Oh, excellent. That's what I'm here for. The tales of what's happening. So the ship, to get back to the point, there was a ship that you all were able to take. Upon the return, I got permission from the heads of the monastery to take the same ship and travel out. To see what are the needs of the world around us and also to tell them the state of the world.
Interesting.
Well, that's very
Cared a whole lot about.
yes, contrary to the
It-
teachings.
It may or may not have been sparked by what you told when you came through.
Oh, interesting.
I
You mean
also had my own reasons for wanting to leave, and they were very, they were happy to acquiesce to my request.
Sure.
That's weird. If I may interject, Ma, I see your son is very bloody over there. If you
yes?
want, I could use my special ability to allow him to use hit dice. However, you would say that.
Saying it exactly like
Yeah. To recover some of his health.
that would be very kind of you. My question is, would this spell take physical contact? Because you would be at risk, and I can't allow it.
That is a very good question, and I appreciate your concern. Um, let me think about the things I've done when I've done this. Or also just a thought. But perhaps the reason that the magic using ghoul was targeting your son, maybe that's how they make magic using ghouls. Maybe they have to infect them with the harvest and then kill them. And then they can use magic or something special about those kinds of corpses.
Intriguing idea.
Hey, well, this anyone is smarter than she looks.
My only fact I have about this, at least about how my son received it, was well, let's say the ghouls had nothing to do with it. A ghoul had something to do with it. But he's not really a ghoul. He's worse. My I have 3 sons. One of whom you've met in charge and headquarters, Benji. This is my eldest, Gideon, and I have a youngest, who is no son of mine, shall we say, and he's the cause of this, or his brother.
Oh, interesting.
Since
I would
adopted.
like to know more about your family.
I wish. All flesh and blood, I'm afraid. Vile.
Oh, that's oddly. satisfying. I don't know. I do have to touch in order to heal.
Well, thank you
Mm.
very much for the offer show, but I think only I should be in contact with him, having had this before. It's not immunity, but it's something.
Understandable. Would you like me to wash your clothing or anything I can do to help?
You're very
Right.
kind. I don't think you should touch it at all, but I can certainly do it myself. But I was going to ask Galena Theory, do you have a water source somewhere in here, something I can use to wash? It sounds like it's going to become rather important if we continue to have a very sick person here. So is there like a pump at this inn?
Can I say that
Yes,
I searched around and I had found one?
I'm sorry. Question for the DM.
yeah.
Yes, there is a well out back.
Awesome.
From which you can get fresh water.
Perfect. So if we can start to get water together, I can start to heat it and start to wash up myself and Junior. So, and change my
Okay.
clothes and everything. And also make him more comfortable since no one has been looking after him this entire time, which I'm very mad about.
I mean, so from what it looks like now that you've got like time to assess it, is he was taken care of up to a point, and then care had to stop.
Right.
Or risk spreading the infection to the rest of kind of the Mayweathers.
Right. So I'll try and make like a little are we just in the tap room in the bar?
Yeah.
Because I can try and make like a little section that's more private where we can wash up and whatever.
Okay.
As I know he's proud.
He not a lot of pride can survive what he's been through.
I know. But I remember him the way he was, and he was proud.
Okay. Are we doing anything else this evening?
May I notice that Talia has not come back yet?
At this point, Jenny and I are figuring that out.
Because
Um,
past a certain point, if she doesn't come back, then I will ask that we start to go look for her. Or
Yeah. In that case, yeah. Is there Shoji? Was there something that you wanted to do? You keep looking like you're about to say something, and I'm not sure.
Sorry. No, I'm taking the temperature. It's really cold here. Sorry. My bad. I'm good.
Okay. Cool. So in that case, let's hop back over to Talia. So Talia, you take out your wand of lightning bolt and blast both swarms of cranium rats.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
have the stats
they
for that,
roll-
so I don't know what it does.
It's
So he didn't give me
It's
stats.
8. One
8d6?
succeeded. 8d6. One succeeded. One failed.
Okay. There's 5. And there's 3 more. So 22.
Oh, shit. Okay.
3-1.
And that one took 22. That one only takes 11. There we go. Okay, that was your action.
You still have bonus action, yeah?
Yep.
Let me look again. Hold on. 'Cause again, I apologize, guys, but I am still learning all of her stuff because none of it's the same as it used to be. I
which is suspicious.
That's what happens when a wizard loses their spell book. I will
When
cast
when
Shield
I'm
of
the
Faith
DM, yeah.
upon myself.
Cast what?
Shield of Faith, which gives me a +2 to my AC,
Alright.
which is already boosted from that brooch you gave me.
Oh yeah.
17.
So,
Okay. So my
so what's your-
base AC is 17 now without shield. And shield will add 5 to that.
Damn. Okay.
I'm gonna Kothar this shit.
Kothar! Okay. End of the first round, top of the second. 14 to hit.
Nope.
Second one hits.
Shield.
Shield.
Yep.
Which brings which brings you to 22.
Yeah.
They rolled exactly that.
Okay, fine.
Oh. But they only have half health. So they only do half damage. You take 2 points of piercing damage.
Ow!
Double one.
Does that make you feel better?
All right, your turn.
Okay. You told me I have these things and you never gave me stats for them. So I don't know how many charges I have. I don't know any of that stuff. Can I
Okay,
do
cool.
the lightning rod thing again?
Ba-dum. Oh geez. Yeah, you have more charges.
Okay, I'll do that again then.
6 more charges to be exact.
Sweet. Sandalhain is the best guy. See, there's some of them. I should ask him for better dice.
Sandalhain, my lord. And I have more dice.
Please give me better dice.
1 success, 1 fail.
So it's 24 and 12.
So half to okay. 12. Okay. Both will attack you again with advantage. First one hits. Okay. Second one also hits.
Okay.
You will take 18 points of piercing damage.
Okay. That hurts. My turn again?
Yep.
One more time. Can I upcast it and use more charges or something? And add extra dice?
Oh. Yeah, actually. So for 1 additional charge, you'll cast it at 4th level. For another one at 5th. For another one at 6th.
Just cook these suckers.
Cool. There's no point in rolling. One swarm has 2 left, and one swarm has 1 left. So you obliterate them, and the rest kind of scatter out. And Vera, right around when you start to get worried, Talia stumbles in. How are you looking?
Like shit.
Oh Lord.
Talia stumbles in, looking just like shot to hell. Bites just covering every inch of her skin, just dripping blood.
Oh my dear girl. Show perhaps.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I put my hands, and if you want, you can spend hit dice to regain hit points.
Cool.
Oh.
Thank you. Could you always do that? Did I know that?
I think since we met, I was always able to do this, but it's only like a once a day type of thing.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Thank you. Thank
She's
you very
a
much.
lady of many talents.
Indeed.
Talia, I
Lovely.
think you can use up to 4 of those.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry. I'm so used to 13th age where you spend 1 recovery.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just do another one. I love 13th age, by the way. So much fun.
13th age is. Okay,
Yeah,
the
that'll
whole
be good.
party now has congregated at the inn. Vera and Gideon, Vera, you've cleaned yourself up pretty well, and you've made Gideon about as comfortable as the situation is going to allow. So Vera and Gideon are quarantined off to the side. Vera, it has been about an hour, so I'm going to need you to make another Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Will do. Alrighty. Constitution. Whoa, that went off not in the tray. 22. That's good.
Oh, damn. Okay. Oh, cool. Okay. You immediately contract the disease.
Can I still hear the conversation going on though? Because we're still in the tap room.
Yes. I assume the rest of you have, I assume, broken out whatever rations you're carrying. Are there any plans for tonight, or are we taking a rest and taking tomorrow as it comes?
I'm regaling Galena with the story of
Yeah.
how I was once a dragonborn and then my multiple deaths and resurrections.
So great.
I was like, and I
I
met
am
people on your
very-
island. They were great. They were insane, and I loved them.
good. I took out a big old book and pull out this beautiful pen and start taking notes and writing down parts of what you're saying in
Hell yeah.
orthography.
Ooh,
I'm-
you should talk to our slime friend off.
Yeah.
Not
I've been-
come with you. Off is still
I
back in the territory.
But they'd be
But
friends.
Off the greatest. We love
Off
Off.
can defend himself, but he does not like putting himself in danger, and you guys draw it like a lightning rod.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna tell her my story and also keep practicing because I friggin' need to level up so bad.
And you're rid of the effects of the after effects of reincarnation, right?
Yes.
That's I think we got rid of that back in Mindana.
Yes,
Okay, so
finish that.
your soul is fully at home in your new body.
Yes. My souls are feeling good.
That's true. Your souls, which are gradually melding into one ever so slowly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen the Liliana come out a few times. It's pretty awesome.
She pops out to
I
make
do
snarky
like
things
I
up.
do like- I'm sorry. I do like the edges that keep being honed on some of these new characters. It's great. Okay, you guys then pass the night with
Alright.
stories and food. Vera,
Can we
great food.
do a quick plan real fast? We do have to meet Sam Valhain in the morning, a few hours after dawn. So my thought, and
And-
Vera can share this. Go
Talia
ahead.
remembers that she has a letter that will let all of your people into the council district.
Perfect. So my
Well, so it's Almania and Vera
Plus
plus
8 more is what you told me.
Almania, Vera, and Talia plus 8 people of your choice.
awesome. So my thought is maybe to leave one of our party members, perhaps not a player character party members, here with Junior, just to guard him, not touch him, but guard him, and the rest of us can go to that meeting. Fair? I'm thinking maybe the Pally, who's got some healing in him. So
So you guys want to leave Ati and Ritza.
Again, that's just a
Anybody else?
thought. But,
Anybody else or just that?
well, depending on who we. Do you want to leave Muscle here too? Because Constantine could stay.
I mean, Rin would stay too if you wanted her to.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't want it to be a Vera, ordering people about, but we can have a chat about who would be best to stay. Because the plan, at least for Vera, is not to stay in the council district. It's not like anybody who is left behind here doesn't get sanctuary. That's not the thought process.
I mean, actually, Rin is really interested in going to the council district anyway.
Yeah, then definitely she can come. So maybe like Constantine and I'm sorry, what is his name? Avon. I keep missing it.
Ati and Ritza.
Ritza.
And I think he's a she.
Oh, she the pally. So sorry.
Yeah,
She
I
the
believe
pally.
he is a
Yeah. And I think Damia might want to come just because she's a Silhaloon follower and she might want to chat with you, Talia.
I would love to chat with her about Silhaloon.
Yeah. So leave Ritza and Constantine. Rest of us can go.
Okay. Alrighty. You guys head out through the city then in the morning towards the council district. Who would like to give us a D12 roll?
I have a roll.
So,
Hold on.
so many
you give
potential
us-
encounters. Mary, you want to roll it?
Yeah, I'll roll it.
What was that,
Josh,
Talia?
can you give us a rest first so that all of our stuff resets,
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I can indeed.
please?
Thank you, Jenny.
Rest.
Like, otherwise we have to go in and all do it manually, but
Sorry, that's
what
true.
we do.
I did not give you my accustomed. You gain the benefits of a long rest. You get all your spell slots, your hit points. You get half of your hit dice back, etc. Good. And now that's official in Fantasy Grounds as well.
that did not reset anything on my sheet.
But
You mean to say it slower?
because you're not in the initiative order. There we go.
Oh.
And let me put Galena in there as well. There we go. Learners. There we go. It should be set now.
Okay.
Almania rolled a 4 on the encounter die, which is not an encounter. Goodness. And you guys make it to the council district where Talia presents the letter. Somebody kind of comes down out through the gate, checks it over, and you guys are allowed in because it's really just you three and then plus 4. So, yeah, okay, cool. You guys are once again led to Samvel Haynes, where the guards out front nod at Talia, and you guys continue up the walk towards the main house. And as is the custom, every time you go to Samvel Haynes, you offer to have your boots taken and cleaned and shined, hot baths with perfumes and oils, light refreshments to be shortly followed by heavier refreshments. It was noted, Vera, that you were not a big fan of the oatmeal. So instead, you are presented with perfectly cooked fried eggs with some honest to God bacon.
Oh.
The eggs are harder to put in a pocket. So I will totally eat those. However, in honor of Critical Role, I will now have pocket bacon.
Pocket bacon!
Okay, you have pocket bacon,
Excellent.
and the eggs are delicious. You all look like kind of like crap. So just out of curiosity, who is taking advantage of all of the amenities?
Oh.
I will do it because I want to disinfect more.
That's good.
is at this stage, she's like still kind of figuring out how to take care of her feathers because she's never had feathers. So this is a real learning opportunity for her, like, because they'll pull out very specific things and be like, this is really good for this and this is really good for that. And she like takes mental notes of like, these are the things I use for my feathers.
Honestly,
So cute.
Rufus Roscoe seems to be enjoying the puzzle as much as you two kind of run through the product and try to see like which one would not ruin feathers and things like that. It's a process.
Yeah. I'm slowly learning. I'm like, oh, like these are good things, and I should know how to take care of myself now that I'm not a dragonborn and can't use. Oh, hold on. Elena, if you use the amenities, you need to try a very specific type of oil. I made a note of it. What is it called? This is very important. It's called Upon Thy Soul, and it's really nice.
And
Elmania, you
frankly,
may have an inspiration point.
Thank you.
I had completely forgotten about that. All right.
Helena does not want any of it, and she feels a little bit overwhelmed at this pomp and circumstance, especially when she's seen so much squalor, and she's not particularly happy about it. She also is not pleased with the fact that you're sticking bacon in your pockets, and she's not eating any of the meat.
Joe is the opposite. She is loving this. Like if she could get like an extra set of clothing, just to have as spare, and she would request her old clothing to be burned. Like, yeah, she hates it.
Well, they are more than happy to burn your nasty ass clothing. What would you dress in after that, Shoji? What kind of clothing would you wear?
Fine clothing, I suppose, considering the circumstances, like sturdy, like clothing that is going to last a long time, but nice clothing. She prefers like the richer side. Like her childhood was extremely, like, she had nothing, so she's always like, oh, richness, yes. But not like enough to stand out tremendously in other areas.
Rufus hands you essentially a pile of new clothing.
Oh.
Like, I got you what you asked for. And then he kind of pulls up like the top 4 or 5 layers to reveal underneath like just a really nice like tunic and robe and belt, and it's just like, I also brought you what you wanted. He kind of hands you the stack of it. Galena standing kind of off to the side from all of this. No, don't clean my boots. Extraordinarily uncomfortable. Almania and Shoji reveling in luxury. Talio?
No, I just was going to say that chat has pointed out that Shoji should wear white silks.
to accentuate the bone white of her skin.
Snow
Yes.
White.
Shoji's backup career, if she ever like retires from adventuring, is being those people who like paint themselves as like bronze statues and whatnot, pose in parks.
Yeah.
Did you know though that like layers of silk behind samurai armor actually prevents knife blades? I mean, silk is armor.
Tough.
Right. Saying hi to the people. You move now.
Hi, Calliope. Yeah, tail.
Oh, you can't. I wanted for.
Little power protest. About an hour after you arrive, you those of you who have taken advantage have been cleaned, new clothes, fed. Sam Velhain meets you this time in kind of the official like study where he does business. There's walls and walls of books. There's candles everywhere, and kind of you are all seated at this large, just rich mahogany table. Just these heavy, solid wood chairs all around. And Rufus Roscoe leads you into there. And shortly thereafter, Sam Valhane comes in. The circles under his eyes are lighter now. He looks like he's prepared to be awake this early after long hours of work late into the night. And as he walks in, my friends, it is so good to see you again. And new friends, I'm so sorry, I haven't, and he greets Damia, gets her name, exchanges, pleasantries. Same with, he's never met Karina, actually. You're also a new face, but you look, don't take this the wrong way. I mean this well, weathered, well-traveled, seasoned adventurer.
I am that.
With fascinating accent. Correct me if I'm wrong. That wouldn't happen to be Combine, would it?
Indeed it would. It seems my lord has traveled.
I hear, I meet people. How are things in the Combine? How did you...
Total shit.
Well, you're in good company, I would say. But what particularly ails your people?
Well, there's the dwarves exerting their will upon the little ones, the gnomes. And then there's the Remans.
You side with the partisans, then. A rebel in our midst. Even more exciting.
Indeed. And then, of course, when I left the city, the Remans were laying siege to it. So...
For that, I'm truly sorry.
Well, there are worse people than the Remans, I suppose. Like the dwarves.
But few more troublesome.
That's true. I mean, all I did was admit to an honest love of a little bit of a gamble, here and there, as I was coming into their stupid spell where they make you tell the truth, right? And then they ask you all these questions and they know if you're lying, and then they judge you for speaking the truth.
The fabled entrance into the Empire. I have never experienced it myself, and from what I hear, I am fortunate in avoiding it.
Indeed. Assholes. That's what they all are.
And you, I'm sorry, for a moment, it was almost like having Almania in her original body back. I'm sorry, Almania, I don't mean to offend. It was just old memories coming back. What is your name?
My name is Galena.
Lovely name. From your garb, I assume you hail from the that temple out in the ocean. A sea,
Indeed.
I suppose I should call it.
Is it that obvious?
Not many wear orange.
Well, I think it's a lovely color and one ought to wear it more.
Oh, absolutely. I wish orange was part of my family colors, as you can see. And he gestures to kind of his insignia, which is essentially just a silver pike head on a black field. As you can see, mine lacks, well, flair of any sort whatsoever. But
Okay.
we make up for what we can in attitude and pure spirit, yes?
Seems like you're trying to make up for something in this place. That's all I can say.
Why do I feel like
A monk with wit, this is fascinating.
Why do I feel like Sam Vilhane is like team leaders on spirit days, like with clans? Because he sounds to me like we lose all the time, but we make up for it with chutzpah and good attitudes. Joey kids. You're like, yeah.
He's also kind of part golden retriever as well. He's gives that vibe.
I feel like this is why Vilhane, because he's just legitimately me. Like about everything, would probably go roll around in the leaves if I had the opportunity. Like, yeah, this is me. Oh, delightful.
And you, I do not believe that we have met. Turning to you now, Lyra.
Choji.
Oh,
Joe,
I'm sorry.
no. Nice. It was a pleasure to meet you. I'm.
it's been a long time since.
I know.
I don't feel bad about that one because Beth was like, Lyra's gonna sacrifice herself in a ritual to bring back Almania.
Yes,
Isn't that what
yes. Well, that's why I can handle play like a good character.
That's
Or
why we love you, Beth.
Do you have trouble with that, Beth? I hadn't realized.
this game is where all darkness can come out, and it's okay.
No, I apologize. He turns to you, Koji.
My thanks for your hospitality and your clothing. Oh, I'm very, very happy to be here.
Of course, the dictates of hospitality must be adhered to. One of the few bright, beautiful things have survived so far. One that must not fade. From your accent, it sounds like you are from the local area, from the city, in fact. I was unaware of
Oh.
after my former and hopefully soon to be again clients had left, I was unaware that there was anyone of your ability remaining.
Oh, I am actually. Where is she from?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. Yes, I'm terrible at accents, so this is what you get.
Well, that would explain it. Worcestershire is our sister city. Cultural exchange has been well and strong for, I'm given to understand, more than 1,000 years now. So that would explain it. How did you survive the terrible Vreeman overthrow of that city? I understand they spared no one, or very few.
Yes, the few that were spared were not better off for being so. It was thanks to my encounter with this group that we were able to escape and find help and make it back here. So, yeah, thank you for your patronage. Without your indirect help, I would not be here. I would probably be dead somewhere.
You
My lord.
too are welcome. Yes, I'm sorry,
She's-
Talia.
She's the one I told you about that we took from the camp.
Yes, Talia, but hearsay versus actually meeting someone, there's no comparison.
Of course.
It is polite, Talia, to allow someone to tell themselves to you, not assume that you're getting an accurate picture from someone else.
Of course.
When are you going to get this? I apologize.
Well, might we inquire about you, how you came to be in this situation, able to provide such gracious accommodations?
Indeed, preparation, uh, firm and decisive action was able to save a large part of the stores from the warehouses out in the city proper that otherwise would have been raided by riotous mobs bent on destruction and anarchy. And a well-trained guard has been instrumental in maintaining our safety. Yes, I would have to say that these would be the main factors in our current prosperous state. We continue efforts to try and spread this prosperity to the unfortunates outside this district. Work in which I was hoping for all of your aid. It seems that we have been brought to a business. Yes? I need not tell you that these are difficult times, and there are tremendous things at work. Everything that we love and hold dear is in danger. And I must ask, what are each of you willing to do in order to save your families and your loved ones? How deep is your commitment?
Well, Lord Sambeline, if you remember, my family currently isn't here. So I don't know how long I'll be able to stay, at least for now. Because I need to go and get them and help them.
But what would you bring them back to?
Oh, maybe not even here. Maybe somewhere else. But I was raised here. This really was my home, but no one I know is still here. I haven't been able to find my friends or my family. The ones that I have found have been horribly hurt. I don't know if I'll be able to stay in the way that you'd like me to. At least not right now.
And I understand and do not hold it against. I believe, in fact, that I can assist. What of the rest of you?
Well, I'm not clearly very good at taking care of the family since they're not here, and I am. But my father used to be a merchant of some renown, and he's finding it rather difficult with trade cut off. So I'm attempting to overcome some of that. But I'm sort of, shall we say, in the shopping phase at the moment. I have a couple of other offers under consideration, so I'm simply looking for the one that's going to suit me the best. I hope you'll appreciate the fact that I'm being forthright with you.
Of course. I believe we can accommodate your needs as well. And the rest?
May I also be forthright with you, Counselor? You know my surname. I have not hidden it.
Indeed. You were once known as Fairworthy.
Your knowledge goes
Did I-
deep, doesn't it?
Oh, I got it right? Oh, good. Sorry.
Yes. Goodness.
Around.
Yeah. I haven't been Miss Fairworthy for 190 years. Long before you were born. But you do know who I was and am afterwards.
Indeed. Had your name not been well known, it certainly would have been found through the activities of your sons.
Yes, I rather thought that, and I know you're not a fool. So I'm sure you can understand where my loyalties have to lie. However, I also have loyalties to the city and to the people of Anisha. And I think you do too.
Of course. And while I understand some of your ties have been recently cut, I assure you that you would not have to leave the city were you in my employ.
I think you mistake me, sir. You asked about our commitment to the city.
Indeed.
And I tell you, my commitment to Anisha is complete. But there is a line around it. And that line is my family and their interests. And if it is in the interest of my family to leave this city and their desire, I will go happily.
Understood. Choji, Galena?
As new as I am to the city, I can say that I hold no particular allegiances to it, but this party and my indirect relation, yourself, I am happy to help if I can. I probably would follow the consensus of the group for any major decisions, such as permanent location here. However, yeah, as if I can be of assistance, I will in that limited way.
Excellent. And Galena, I am given to understand that your people hold little allegiance to anything outside their city, but surely the
That's
plight
true.
of the place speaks to you.
I'm sorry?
Surely the plight of this place speaks to you.
I have been tasked with exploring, getting a lay of the land and seeing what is going on since word of the needs of the land has reached us. And I have interest that my home, the Shadowed Mount, would not become a metaphorical island of culture and civilization, as well as a physical island. To that end, I am willing to help this city, but my allegiance will always lie first to the Shadowed Mount.
Excellent. That is workable.
I like her.
Sorry, did he ask? I'm sorry. Yes, he's asked Karina. Good. Okay. Sorry, you're Rin right now, correct? Or after bathing and luxuriating, would you have returned to Karina, or are you sticking with Rin?
Rin suits this current job better. So
Okay.
Rin, but fancy Rin. Clean Rin.
Damya is kind of listening to all of this, and when Galena speaks, you see her nodding. This is not where I would wish to find myself forever. My ties here too have been cut. But I would help these people until I can return to my own. Sam Vilhane thinks for a moment. If you would, for a moment, take all of those things that you desire and hold them in your mind's eye, and then answer me. If I were to offer you the power to achieve that desire, would you take it? Talia or Karina?
Bryn.
Sorry.
Uh,
Neither, Josh.
Quick point of order. Does your deal come with? I trust that you'll have some leniency for a victim of the Empire. But does your arrangement come with the tying of strings? And the rooting of one down to a specific place? Because one of my fundamental truths that I believe in is that I can't stay in one place for long.
And indeed, we can accommodate that as well. Perhaps you would like to get down to terms.
Was he being honest about accommodating the wandering thing, or is it like she gonna be stuck on watch duty?
Give me an insight check.
Cool. But she's got thoughts there. Natty 20. 23.
To the best of your ability to tell, he was being honest about accommodating you.
Cool.
With a natural 20, I'll give you. There is a slight bit of worry and concern in his face. You can't quite tell what that concern is about. I mean, clearly it has to do with something going on here, but more detailed than that, you can't quite tell.
Okay.
But in his whole manner is communicating to you that he is fully genuine.
Okay. And the concern doesn't seem to be directed towards me. It's more the situation.
Yeah, something to do with the situation, what's been said, what's about to be said, you're not sure.
Okay, cool.
I have learned from your friend Talia that this offer of power has been made to several of you before. At the hands of Himotech Destin. And that you fled from it. All the way to the Empire, in fact.
I just recently joined the group, so I don't have foggiest clue what the fuck you're talking about.
Indeed, I apologize. This is somewhat more directed towards a few members of the group, and I will include you shortly.
Was
So
I?
looking really at Sho, Vera, and Elmania.
Was Almania / Liliana there, or was that Morthus?
No, that
No,
was
it was Liliana.
Liliana.
Liliana was
I-
there.
I couldn't remember when I had switched back from Morthus to Liliana. Thanks.
Yeah, you guys met Destin when he appeared on the Shadowed Mount, and then teleported a bunch of you to his temple in Westishire. Morthus stayed on the Shadowed Mount.
Okay, yes.
We fled from the Hematach because he was resurrecting priestesses with blood magic. It seemed like a sensible idea at the time to run.
Should we not have run? Is that what you're getting at?
I am making no judgments. I simply wish to know why, when that offer was made, it was refused.
There's a bit of Liliana that kind of pops out because it sounded like a bullshit deal. That's what it sounded like.
It
Yeah,
crossed a line.
So I was not very
And one
inclined
line.
to trust them.
Go ahead, Choji.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I was actually. They met me after, and then while we were
Yeah, Sho wasn't
dating, I mean,
there.
if I was ever
Oh, I'm sorry. You
offered,
guys met. That's right. You guys met Joe like seconds after witnessing that. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
right. I'm sorry.
So Cormier was there.
I'm sorry, I was trying to think of how Sho would react. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember back.
and-
What offer did he make us? Sorry, I'm flipping back to my notes.
Destin, his manner was as if you guys had already like thrown in with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he seemed to be mostly going off of, but mostly favoring Talia. And it wasn't until it became very clear that you guys were opposed to him that he got really sad and disappointed and had you guys thrown into the chattel pit.
Yeah.
So he didn't really like make an explicit offer as much as he seemed to assume you had already accepted.
Mm-hmm.
The Hemotalk was a follower of a wicked goddess.
And why do you name her wicked?
Because she sucks people dry and gives nothing in return. Literally sucks them dry.
So you do not see her people as living, as those downtrodden for centuries, being brought up from the ground to live, to breathe, to enjoy light.
Are we talking about the dragonborn, the ones who like brought her into existence? Is that what we're going with?
Or the ghouls.
I have little interest in the dragonborn. I speak of, yes, the ghouls as you name them.
The undead?
Not quite. But for our purposes now, yes.
So are we saying that the undead are good and we've just been prejudiced against them? Is that what we're like trying to get at? I'm just trying to understand the logic. I'm trying to track where we're going. Are we saying that the undead we're prejudiced against because they're undead? Is that like where we're going with this, or is it or is there another thing that we're getting at that I'm missing?
I am unaware that we are claiming anything. I am trying to understand what your thoughts are on Sorana V.
I mean, what I remember is that new moon in the sky, regular moon, all broken, waves and water, can't get anything in or out of the city. So because of all of this, we're kind of just dying. I mean, just a practical standpoint. I mean, I'm not getting into the religious side of it. You could
You
ask
seem
born, but
you seem to know a great deal of Serana V, based on the way that you're speaking with us. Could you tell us from your perspective what you think the justifiability of the ghouls, or what the purpose is of all of this?
I mean, you have all grown up in this world of darkness, fear, pain, of despair, of just ugliness. The Red Goddess offers a possibility of light, of beauty, of transformation.
What does she offer? Because all I have seen is degradation.
Let us speak rather of what I offer you. And he gestures Rufus Roscoe out, who brings he is holding two kind of separate stacks of papers, and he hands the first one to Sem Velhain. There are two offers on the table. This is the first, and he sends it around to you, to each of you. Should you sign this contract, you will be entitled to a place in the faith. You have proven yourselves resourceful and strong survivors. That would be tremendously useful to usher in a new age out of desolation, out of despair. You may, of course, keep your forms as you seem opposed, and your wills, of course, on a voluntary basis. You will be afforded food, luxury, safety for your family and friends. All that would be required of you would be to advance the faith of the Red Goddess.
Oh,
You would
frick.
wear her symbol. You would use her gifts in her service to elucidate the faith to doubters and fight her enemies as your own.
I forgot that Lyra fucking wanted to start a cult with him, and he was like, "Yeah, that sounds good." I totally forgot. Like day one. Oh my god.
You mean the cult of Illyrial that's currently
Kidnapping and bleeding people?
Illyrial was Lyra's goddess.
Yeah.
It would, of course, be my preference. In the short time that we've worked together, I have truly enjoyed it, and I have affection for you.
Josh,
Yes.
I get any sense from kind of my slowly building, as I've been realizing, like connection with this kind of spiritual world. Like me and the dream walker and the heroes. What kind of sense am I getting about all of this? Am I like feeling anything, especially as I've been, like writing this song to like bring balance, and I've been kind of told when or when not to sing it. Like, how am I kind of feeling about this whole thing?
Can you ask me a more specific question and tell me what it is you are using to try and ascertain this sense or feeling?
Okay, I want to know what the Dreamwalker and the spirits think about Serana V / Illyrial.
Okay. And how are you trying to get that information? What does it look like for Almania sitting at the table there to try and establish this connection?
I'm gonna pluck like the first 4 or 5 notes of my song that I've been working on, because that song is kind of what roots me in this spiritual world that I've been like trying to connect with.
Okay. I'm gonna ask for a D20 plus wisdom.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Give me an insight charisma check.
Insight charisma. Okay. I'm good with that. 18.
18. As you pluck the first few notes, Sam Valheim quickly snaps his fingers unnaturally loud. It almost echoes in the room. And the sound of your instrument almost seems like it fades. Not like it reverberates and slowly the sound dies out, but like the sound withers like a plant. And we will have to talk about that.
About what?
Gonna catch Almanya's eye and just be like,
Your song. Do you know how widely it was heard?
I played it once in a cave underground
Indeed.
for a tree. I played it for a tree.
It was heard by many other than your tree.
No way. People heard my song?
it was meant to be heard, I assume.
I didn't think that was. Wow. That's
Rena,
really cool. Oh my gosh.
as to your concerns, once the city has been converted, the mother will calm the seas. Trade will be established with perhaps some favorable deals with your family. I can easily write that into the contract.
Well, first of all, I never told you my name was Karina.
I'm
And
sorry, you're still,
second
you're
of
still
all,
right. But he did use the name Karina.
okay. Yeah, no, that is shitty. And second of all, well, times like these are difficult ones. And I don't know if perhaps you might have something that resembles a washroom that I might be able to visit with perhaps one of my friends. And I try to catch Damnia's eye. You know, she has somewhat of a sensitive stomach, and talk like this can be a little nerve-wracking over breakfast. So maybe if we could take a slight recess and join you in a minute.
Roll a deception check.
Okay. Okay. Oof. It was almost so good, and then it wasn't.
So not even you are amenable to this plan. And Damia actually at this point has slowly stood up from the table and just kind of backed away from it, and you can see just tears starting to run down her face.
Okay, wait, hold on. You said you heard my song and you seem really pissed about it. Did you not like my song that I have spent, I don't know.
I love your
On-
song. No, Almanya. I did not hear it. Others did and wish me to speak to you about it.
What? Why?
No one is suggesting that you scrap it. There are simply some additional themes that they would like introduced.
Ooh, some propaganda pieces?
No. Gosh, propaganda is hideous.
Promulgation. We can call it promulgation of ideas. But this is a song that isn't meant to be touched and tweaked by anyone else. This is a song from my soul. No, it's a slow build over an adventure, over a lifetime.
I am not sadly musically gifted. But I believe that the verbiage used was to give you assistance in realizing unused parts of your soul.
Uh-huh. I feel like I can just like feel the spirits of like, like there's this slow judgmental hum of like of the heroes are like,
Vera, he turns to you. The effects of the blessing would be lifted from your son, Vera. Especially after last night's attack, he could be saved.
Is Talia in the room?
Yes.
Just gonna glance sideways. Did Talia tell you my entire story?
Leah did not.
But you know it.
Indeed.
Then you know that I've been made this offer before. Safety, security, a place in the world, work, community. Everything you'd think a person never wanted, I was offered that. I had it. But the price was too high. And I chose death then, and I'll choose it again now, rather than pay that.
And does she speak for all of you?
Bryn is on her feet next to Domnia. And yeah, she's got a dagger in each hand.
Show is like legitimately conflicted right now. Yes.
I'm hoping to at least get show.
Show really wants to side with the greater power here. Yeah, Show legit is just too unsure of what to do. She's not saying or doing anything. She just kind of had this look of like, oh crap, what do I do? But
He
yeah,
looks to you. So you, as a survivor of Worcestershire, you, more than perhaps any of them, must understand power, yes?
yes, but in the beginning, that power was not on my side. It was against me.
It wasn't. Destin is a terrible communicator and frankly an ass.
What kind of power are we talking about exactly?
All of it, Show. There is none who stands against her. Even if you abhor her mission, her goals, surely you must understand that hindering her invites only destruction.
Could I be let's see, could I do a contract on a limited basis? Like, can I try this out, see how I feel after a while under certain conditions?
A 3-month renewable plan.
With
At the
zero
end-
money down
with the
and
devil
no
god.
interest.
for credit card information because it already has it. So I'm just keeping it anyway.
With Satan herself.
Perhaps if I present this and Rufus passes out to you all the other piece of paper. Signing this entitles you to a place outside of the conflict. At the wish of both parties, this is renewable after a year and a day. The terms are that you, your families, and all who can reasonably be called friends and dependents will be free to go. I will personally provide you with 10,000 gold pieces and supplies for a 6-month journey, including food, water, equipment, mobile shelters, and the like. You may go wherever you will, unmolested by any servant of the Red Queen. Jira, the effects of the Red Blessing will of course be lifted from your son. And these terms shall remain in force so long as neither party nor agents or allies of either party attempts direct violence against the other or the other's agents or allies. Neither party betrays the trust or plans of the other to the other's enemies. Neither party knowingly conspires with the enemies of the other to the other's detriment. And pursuant to these terms, upon the day of signing, both parties shall declare their enemies, and communication shall be established such that future entities or peoples can be added to either roster, and these terms can be effectively upheld. A sign will be established by which agents of each signer can identify one another for use in case that they find themselves unexpectedly at cross purposes and wish to avoid violation of the contract. All settlements regarding disputes or violations of this contract shall be subject to arbitration by a third party, agreed upon by all signers of the contract. This would address all of your concerns, I believe. This would remove you from harm's way. It would protect you from all other harm from Red Goddess and her people. We could part as friends.
Nancy.
Here's a question. You say all family and dependents. Do you know how many people depend upon my family?
All those who wish to sign the contract and their dependents.
Well, I'm afraid that I speak only for myself. You will please make the decision you feel is right. But if there's one thing I have learned in the little time I have returned is that I no longer have the right to make decisions for grown men and women. And I will need to speak with them.
Of course, should you wish to consider your options, you may have 24 hours. Return within 24 hours with your answer, and during that time, I will call off assaults on you and your people, provided that you make none upon mine. Would violence be done upon me or mine or the servants of the Red Goddess in knowingly, then I will have your answer. We must regrettably be enemies.
And if we decline all of your contracts, what then? Enemies?
then I am very sorry, but yes.
Well, let us take this time and consider our options, shall we? Thank you again for hospitality.
Of course. You will have the protection of hospitality until you reach your destination. And I truly hope to see you in the morning. Tomorrow morning, that is.
You say this truce, so to speak, will hold for 24 hours.
Indeed.
I'm sure you'll understand that, well, as I have said, I cannot control my family. Can we say that any violence that takes place in these 24 hours is no desire of mine?
Indeed. Unfortunately, should you be unable to convince your sons and your people, and they continue to seek out violence, then I'm afraid I cannot uphold the truce. But all
I will
those
speak with them.
all those within Mayweather territory, unless they offer violence, shall be safe from all servants of the Red Goddess.
That's pretty good thing we have right now. Let's get out of here.
Right. I do hope that you see reason. I hope to see you 24 hours or earlier. And he slowly stands up, and Vera, he offers you his hand.
I'm very sorry to say that Vera follows her first instinct and does spit on it.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
I'll do it and I'll say, I've signed no contract, but you know my mind.
The look of just absolute dejection that just like falls over his face.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
He-
show.
He wipes it off and offers it to the next person. As you guys kind of quietly leave, he will offer it to each of you.
Karina's hands are full.
I look at his hand and look back up at him and say, what do they want to add to my song? Out of pure artistic curiosity.
Well, I can arrange a meeting if you wish. Again, the intricacies of music have long escaped me.
Oh no, I just want to know if they had lyrics or if they wanted an entirely different tune or if they were upset that this was in some way divinely inspired.
Again, I'm not entirely certain.
Interesting. And I'm going to walk past him, strumming those first 4 or 5 notes of that song. Not even going past those, just those first 4 or 5 notes.
Okay.
That I'll think about it and then I'll walk away.
Josh, point of order, is Talia leaving with him, or did he ask her to stay?
It's up to Talia.
I'll be following right after Ma then.
Okay. Shoji,
I'm gonna-
shaking his hand.
Yes. Shoji will take his hand and say, I will consider seriously your offers and return tomorrow. Right, thank you.
This is your shot. This is your shot at genuine evil, Beth. Right? This.
I know, it's so
Galena.
I kind of look at his hand a little bit confused, and then, as I said, just bow and say, "Thank you for your exceedingly generous hospitality."
Okay.
And just turn it away.
Damya kind of wipes the tears from her eyes, walks over, stands right in front of him, and looks up at him. There is one who stands against her. And the look of just pity on Sam Valhain's face does not change at all. And he goes to like put his hands gently on her shoulders, and she just slaps them away. Says, "Not for long." And Damya walks out. You are all escorted to the door and allowed to leave in peace. And we're going to go ahead and end right there for this week. Please join us again next time. It gets even worse. Oh, dear. These are the times when I'm a little bit glad that we're over distance so that Jenny can't throw dice at my face.
True, because I did hit that one time.
Yeah, I don't remember what the episode was, but you should go back and see it because it's genuinely hilarious. Anyway.
I didn't trust him from the moment we met him.
And you had every right instinct, and the problem was that he was always fully genuine.
I know. That's what makes it so much worse.
In the meantime, join Becca and crew on Mondays at 6:30 Mountain Time for Call of Cthulhu Horror on the Orient Express. We also invite you to follow and subscribe to our Twitch and YouTube channels, or visit our website at counterproduction.wordpress.com, where you can follow us on social media, discover our lineup of podcasts, including actual play shows like this one, or support us on Patreon. In addition, I think you can find a link on all of our socials to a fundraiser. Our good friend Beth lost her brother recently, and there's a fundraiser for his family. So again, you can find a link on all of our socials. So please go there and donate and help out. Thank you so much for your support. Until next week, we hope you stay happy, healthy, and safe. Have a lovely night.